Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
9 things to do for clean air. So this is the article related to the present situation of air pollution, why the air pollution is prevailing and what need to be done. So since the news is related to environment, under prelims it is related to general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change. Similarly under mains it is related to GS paper 3 environment under a subtopic called conservation, environmental pollution, degradation, environmental impact assessment. See, the air pollution is the fifth largest cause of death in India, and it has led to a premature death of nearly 1.6 million people in 2019, which is 3 times greater than the COVID related death. And then in terms of economic losses, nearly 7 lakh crore has been lost in terms of the economic growth, which is nearly 1/3 of the annual GST collection. So why we failed to improve the situation, that is the prevailing air pollution condition, is because of the fragmented approach. The fragmented approach means, see, the air pollution, the air does not have any kind of borders, but the bureaucracy or the governance have the broad borders, and each areas within the borders will be governed by a set of people, and the set of rules and regulations will be varied from one boundary to another boundary. Because of this fragmented approach, and then addressing the symptoms, that is the aftermath of the pollution, not directly dealing with the root cause of the air pollution. The example, once the air pollution has got increased means a knee jerk reaction like closing down the construction sites and spraying the waters or the dust suppressant to compress the air particles that is suspended in the lower atmosphere. And then secondly, the fractured system of governance, as I said, and then not only governance, it is also the fractured system of financing as well as the implementation of schemes or policy being formed by the government. So these are the things which made us to fail to improve the current air pollution situation. So what need to be done is that first and foremost we have to realize that it is the human induced problem, not the natural induced problem or the environment induced problems, and it is vulnerable to the vulnerable section of it have some negative implications on the vulnerable section of society, peoples like children, elder people, rural community, but those people, those vulnerable population have contributed only less amount to the air pollution. And at the same time we should also learn from the best practices that is prevailing in the other countries, like in the case of Los Angeles, Mexico City, as well as the London. These are all the areas where the air pollution was higher at one period of time, but after some stringent implementation as well as policy making, it got reduced, and now they are one of the cleanest city in the world. So from those cities, best practices should also be adopted as well as adapted according to our needs. But what is the constraint we are facing in implementing or forming those kind of policy is, see, because of the ever increasing or rapid increasing of population growth and its related impact. Secondly, increased unplanned urbanization is also causing havoc in the air pollution mitigation strategies. So what the 9 approaches that has been suggested by this article is, what it is saying is that the integrated approach to limit the emission and at the same time to reduce the exposure of the people to the pollution. Example, limiting the emission from the coal based power plants as well as the industrial effluents, and also at the same time preventing the people from getting exposed to the pollutants, like in the case of Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, through which government has supplied the clean fuel to the people so that they get their cooking method has got transformed from the biomass based cooking to clean fuel cooking, which in turn led to reduced exposure to the kind of air pollution that is arising because of the biomass fuel based cooking. Secondly, affordable green urban transport need to get implemented, so it will have a win-win situation. Like in the case of, it will act against the climate change negative impact by reducing the carbon footprint which is arising because of the fossil fuel based economy. Secondly, it will be leading to the rapid integration as well, the rapid green transport integrated transport will be leading to faster economic growth, and at the same time it will be having increased number of job opportunities. Thirdly, widespread electrification of buildings, vehicles, as well as the entire production process wherever possible, so that a shift will be made across the value chain from the fuel based fossil fuel based economy to the non fossil fuel based economy, and then adapting to the regional or the airshed approach. As I said at the initial point of the discussion, that is, the air does not have any kind of borders, but the bureaucracy or the governance have the borders, and the rules and regulation varies according to the borders. But the air pollution will have same kind of negative impact on people without it does not have any kind of thing like that of borders. So a regional approach should be made rather than the piecemeal or the individual cities or town based approach. And then end to end construction as well as waste management need to be made so that it will limit the air pollution, and at the same time, because of reusing the waste construction materials and also the other wastage materials, it will be leading to reduction in the minings that is happening or the illegal minings that is happening in the natural river bodies. And then a strong legislation without fearing any kind of lobby or any kind of pressure from the interest group, and then a strong enforcement need to be made. Finally, seventh strategy is the wide scale citizen awareness and then citizen mobilization need to get enhanced, so that they will also become a part and parcel of the climate mitigation policy, climate mitigation related policy making as well as the implementation, and at the same time it will enable them to change their lifestyle from the unsustainable based to the sustainable based lifestyle, like in the case of the recently proposed life mission in the recently held conference of party under United Nations framework for convention on climate change. And then see, the recently the 15th finance commission has given weightage to urban increased weightage to the water scarcity, so like that, which is happening because of the climate change. But what the news article has said is that this 16th finance commission should give importance or weightage to the air pollution as well as climate change. So the revenues need to be distributed according to this kind of indicators also, which is the new indicators need to be included in the next finance commission, that is the 16th finance commission. And then the best science and technology need to get adapted as well as adopted to monitor the timely air pollution incidents and also alert the entire system of the governance. Such kind of precise science and technology method should also get adapted for the monitoring as well as implementing the rules and regulation in relation to the pollution. So these are all the 9 approaches being suggested in this article to overcome the recently prevailing air pollution, most importantly in the Delhi area. So this is what the thing. So as I said, see the the implementation or the way forward that has been given in the previous slide might be easy when we are reading, but in the direct implementation stage it will have some huge amount of task efforts. But this kind of efforts task has been made by the Mexico cities during 1990s to 2010, and then the Chinese, and at the same time the Los Angeles in US also done during the 1960s to overcome the air pollution that were prevailing in their cities, which is way higher than the currently prevailing air pollution in the Delhi's NCR region. So what need to be studied further is we should know about the air quality forecast as well as research system, and then air quality index and national ambient air quality standards, and then what is Air Act, what is Water Act, and what are all the important provision comes underneath it, and which ministry is responsible for implementation of those corresponding